Hey team, hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving weekend. That was a long days off, and well, apart from all that, I hope you guys did some research, did some studying in between. You know, when we trade the markets, and when you trade every day, or if you're a regular full-time trader, you stay in the markets. You always know what's going on around the world or with the stocks, right? But when you take a break for 2 or 3 days, maybe like you lose that little track, right? I mean, that how do I put this into words? The road becomes a little bumpy. To keep it smooth, along with the other things we're doing, yes, we're supposed to enjoy, but even if you take 10 minutes out of your day just to check up on the news or what's going on with this new variant and whatever it may be, you're basically planting seeds in your brain that will help you grow in the market. You will be able to make better decisions. Imagine you missed the entire weekend. What makes you think, or what makes one think they're gonna come in at 9:30 in the morning and they'll be ready to trade? You have no idea what happened over the weekend. How are you supposed to make things up, or how are you supposed to think now? Right? You can't just look at the candlesticks alone. You have to know what's going on around the world, what news are coming up or why certain things are happening which are taking place, right? But so I hope that makes a little sense. But for now, SPY right now futures are green. They open green, right? We're holding well on Dow's up, SPY's up. Nasdaq Tech is ripping. Tech is up nicely. But SPY for now, instead of upside, I mean, here's something that we're expecting in the market right now. Something to the upside, maybe downside again, whatever it may be. I think we do catch up to the 50 DMA. It could happen this week. It can happen next week, or maybe the week after. I have no idea, right? And but for now, likely looks like we're gonna have a rally for tomorrow, right? The fear concerns are over, I think. But let's see how the market opens. But 50 DMA touches it likely in the coming days, right? And as the market goes, this will also increase, obviously. All right, and then obviously we'll go over this tomorrow in the morning when we have a better futures pricing. Qs, same thing. It's approaching the 50 DMA. Let's see if we touch it and then bounce in the coming days. One thing that you do want to keep an eye out on is a monthly candle, right? The monthly candle. Okay. So the monthly we do want to see, last month was very bullish, right? This is a very strong candle in the month of October. In November, we saw some selling up here, right? Now, maybe Monday, Tuesday, we have a big move and we close somewhere near the top. That would be great. If we close like this or to the bottom, then we might have some bumps ahead, all right? But candlesticks are not always true. It's just something that we learned technically. It could be true, it could not be. I mean, look at this candle. There's nothing more bearish than this, right? That's the reason I say, to me, what matters more is the level being held, right? The level held, it went up. Same thing here. If these levels are held, I think we see much higher on the Qs also. All right, but do keep in mind on Tuesday we do have the monthly candles closing. Now, some of the requests by you guys for the chart, let's go over them. First, we have RBLX, right? Um, Here, what you guys want to see in the coming month is that this area right here, it stays above this area. That's number one. That's the major support right now, which was the resistance before. It has now become major support. It ran a lot. This has a lot of news, a lot of things that the market is anticipating, right? But personally, on this stock, I can tell you guys right now the kind of angle, the pattern that I see on this is going to be something like this. I think similar to Tesla, right? Something like this that I see forming in the coming weeks. They're probably just going to hold this price here and just keep this stock just up here in this range strong. Let it adjust the price. It's not just, maybe if it takes out, see this is the action. If you want to play upside, here's what you want to look at. On 19th November, if we do take out the high of 134 of this high of this candle, then we probably see much higher. All right, because that's where the strongest buying zone was. That's when they held the price up high and they closed the market strong. Right, all other days was weak. And but the best way to play this stock right now, if you do options instead of calls and puts, I would probably do a strategy, something like iron butterfly here. And what exactly is an iron butterfly? So along as I'm doing charts, I'll give you guys how I would personally play the chart. But here I see an iron butterfly in play. So basically what that means is, I'm just gonna go over this iron butterfly, okay? Write these things down, guys. I'm giving you guys some great tips, which whoever's attending or whoever's watching will get to this. Iron butterfly. So basically I will look at one The mid strike, first you have to know what an iron butterfly is, right? We look at the mid strike, is probably at the money right here. Let's say it's trading at 122.65 at the money, right? So at the money strike, which is let's say 123, right? So you sell 123 calls, you sell 123 puts, okay? And to protect yourself now, to protect yourself against the calls, you can buy whatever call you want to. It depends on what range you choose. The wider the range, the more chances that you win, but then again, the ratio becomes lower. I would probably buy, I'll probably do a 10-point spread. I would probably buy 133 calls, right? And then I would buy 113 put. What exactly am I doing here? I'm basically selling this strategy. And for this strategy, I can tell you guys right now, based on this premium, you can probably collect, I will sell iron butterfly for credit, just for clarification. You can probably collect around $8 plus in credits. And what's your max loss here? Your max loss is the one spread, so 123, 133, the difference between either one of them doesn't matter. Two other side is going to be symmetrical. So 10 minus 8, your max loss is two or $200. How? Let's say Roblox goes in a big move, it shoots up and it stays above these prices, it does not come back down, right? The maximum this spread will be worth is 10, so you just buy it back for 10 and you lose $2. But let's say Roblox even goes up and you buy 2 weeks on this and then it comes back down or does whatever. The next time it's around these prices, the next time it's in this zone between 130, 115-ish, you can buy this back at 765. The longer you hold it, the more premium burn there will be, right? Or you can lock it whenever the price fluctuates here, because the premium is going to go down on these calls, is going to go down on this, is going to go down on this, is going to go down on this, which results in the decrease of value in the price of the spread. All right, so you're basically selling something to the market at a higher price and buying it back at a cheaper price, and you keep the difference. So I would sell iron butterflies for credit. Most of you guys who don't know what strategies are, you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. There's no need to worry. Just go online, look up iron butterflies and just see what they are. And they will take a lot of practical experience for many months, because you will have to follow the premium on options, how it moves. You have to understand it. You may learn what an iron butterfly is, but if you don't learn practically how it moves, right? I mean, when we get our car license, you sit in the car for 16 years all your life, but not until you hold the steering wheel, you don't know what's going on, right? So same thing here. So you have to do it practically in order to understand. And I hope this is making sense. You guys are finding this helpful. Please do comment. Let me know if you guys find this helpful when I'm giving you guys what I would do. Okay. And next we have AMD. AMD, great stock. Beautiful pattern here. Beautiful pattern right here. Right. Absolutely. It just took out this pattern right here, and then we had a nice little jump. And now it's just flagging, right? Now chips are strong. Here, there's clear selling pressure above 155 level. All right, but on the this was I believe Wednesday they just brought it up. Friday they kept it up. On AMD, what you want to look at is the monthly chart. The monthly is very bullish. All right, monthly is very bullish. It broke out of this nice little bull flag on the monthly, right? We had leaps on this from here. It broke out. This is a very bullish candle. This likely suggests that it's probably going to go higher in the coming month, in December also. Let's see November, if it can just hold above 154, 158, this probably sees much higher in the coming months. All right. So I think we see one more major squeeze on this. It's possible, but 160 is very hard on AMD. That I'll tell you guys right now. 160 plus hold is very, very hard. So AMD needs 160 hold. So on the daily, if I want to play AMD, I will probably do vertical spreads on this. The reason being is because it ran so much, I don't want to pay so much premium for these calls, and then AMD doesn't move, they will lose a lot of value. So you would probably want to do vertical spreads on this. Vertical spreads. That's what I would do. So every chart I'm going to cover, I'll just give you guys my own personal play that I would do. So vertical spreads. Yes, MQ, I will look at Google also. I think it's already on my list. And then we have PayPal. PayPal, we had the pins news right here. You guys should all know this on 20th October when the rumors came, or was it true or false? I have no idea, that they were going to acquire pins. And then ever since, there's nothing but selling gone on this stock. Now, is pins solely responsible for this? No, it's not. There are other platforms that are coming. There were just some other things that are emerging in the market which became a threat to PayPal's business. All right, and this could be a great opportunity if you believe in the company long term. We are at a very, very critical support zone. This $180 level is very, very critical. The only thing here is if we don't reverse this month, then we want to look at the monthly chart and look at the monthly support now. Anything is possible in the markets. These three big red candles, to me, what they're suggesting is that this stock might take a while before it goes back up now. It's probably going to catch up to this support right here, which is all the way towards 170, right? So in the coming weeks, month, you want to watch the 170, 175 area hold. For me, long term, first scale in. Okay, what does scale in mean? You buy in maybe in November, December, you buy time on your position and then see how it behaves here, because this is a lot of selling pressure. It's not good. Now we just basically need to hold. And sometimes they flush the market, they probably just want to bring this towards the 50 DMA on the monthly and then probably reverse back from here. And if AMD gets a hold above this level right here, which is this, here's where you want to focus, right? Many things people are not going to teach you. On AMD, you're going to go back into September, November of last year. You want to focus on this area right here. All right, you want to draw your support lines here. You want PayPal to be above this level of 215. If it takes out 215, that confirms a likely uptrend. But 215 has to hold, not for one day, for a few days. All right, and what do I mean by hold? So if I go on the daily chart, many of you guys asked, Ricky, what do you mean when you say hold level? Some of you guys are unable to understand when I say that. All right, so let's see. So here, PayPal, it went up here. I would have easily told you from here that, you know what, this has to hold above maybe 257 or whatever the level is. It fought here for days. I am not buying it just on this breakout. I am going to buy PayPal when it breaks out of this range right here. Is holding above this level, is holding. As soon as I see this little break right here above, I see a poke above, I will probably scale in. As soon as I see strength right here, as soon as I see strength right here, that it takes over all the previous level, you play this to the upside. But you buy time on your position, because if you were to buy it on this day, it came down, but then it came back up. All right, so you buy time on your position. So that's what I mean when I say level held. And when another example would be, let's say for example, you buy time on your position, something like this when it's breaking out. Level held here, right? Pokes above, you buy time and you catch the little run. It is okay to buy options at a higher price. Stock can let it trade higher, but if your trade is more confirmed, you're likely to be more successful in options trading if you wait for the right entries. Many people have this misunderstanding that, oh, I want to catch options at the bottom. If you keep doing that, you will just lose your account. Options, there's no mercy. When buying equity and long-term investments, that's when you look for the dips and you buy and then you just sit on it. There's a difference. Trading and investing are two different things. Understand this, please. Next, we have Apple. Great move. Now on Apple, here's another level hold example, right? We're just making, I'm going to go over a few chart techniques here on Apple, right? What we want to see Apple is hold above this zone right here, the highs of right here back in September. Then they gave up the gain, then it finally took over, but now they're bringing it back up. They're basically saying above 156, we're going to sell Apple. And this candle, if we look at the candlesticks technically, is very bearish right here. This is a very strong indication that Apple is a very big sell. Now let me tell you guys something. I'm going to give you guys one number. Apple, if manages to close near 164, 165, write this down, set your alerts. I'll give you guys a likely confirmed play on Apple. If Apple manages to close above 164 or 163.50, we likely see 170 on continuation. Why? Why is that? The reason being, because on this day, when Apple got completely sold off here, when they showed a lot of selling pressure here, if buyers take this back up here and they close it here, this, where there are more sellers, there are more buyers, more demand now. All right. And at this trade, 163.50, if Apple does close above it, you will get the $5-6 move that you can catch. But playing it here is a little iffy. Right now, the market, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I think tech rips. Let's see. But Apple's number is 163.50 plus. If we close daily, is likely going to see 170 on continuation, because that's showing a lot of strength. All right, on the downtrend, we do have 150, 152 for support, which is all the way in this zone right here that we want to watch. And if Apple does come here, we're likely going to touch the 50 DMA and then probably reverse if tech reverses, right? But right now, anything is possible in the markets. We all know that. Apple, I'll just wait. I will not make any play right now unless you're buying time. That's a different story, right? But on Apple, one other thing that you want to keep an eye is it's just in a very nice uptrend, right? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows is higher highs possible. All right, so that's how you want to look at this chart. Is the same thing possible here now? Higher lows here, hold above these levels, and then one step at a time, basically, right? As long as you buy time on your positions, buying more time, it basically means you have more chances of being right in the market. All right, that's what buying time means. Sorry guys, I have a very sore throat. I was actually going to cancel my session, but that's fine. Google guys, it set the 50 DMA, we closed below it. Google, clear indication, it ran up nice, had a very great run, but for the time being, 3,000 will be very hard. This zone right here will be very hard. 3,000 on Google will be a mission to cross. It can consolidate for many, many months now, because Google, when it goes into a consolidation phase, it lasts a long time. What do I mean by that? This is what I mean by that. So Google, if you end up buying calls and it stays sideways, you're gonna get killed on the upside and the downside. If Google consolidates, it's going to burn you. Google already had a nice run from here to here. Personally, to the upside, I will simply wait the day Google closes above 3,000. And if I'm trying to buy the dip, I will be very careful and I'll buy the dip right here in this zone right here, my first dip zone. And then this zone, I'm not going to be looking for a 100-point move. I'm only going to be looking for 30 to 40 points to the upside, and that's it. Why? Because if Google does come here, if Google does come here by any chance, right? If Google comes into this range, by any chance it comes here, they will probably give a bounce to 30, 40 points, and then they will see, do they want to continue up or downside? But you catch that 30, 40 point move here, your trade is over, you simply wait and see what happens next. All right, but Google here, I would not buy it. It's nothing but in a chop zone, in a gambler's zone. Buying or selling Google here, I have no idea what it's going to do. Personally, I would probably play puts on Google instead of upside. If we go on the weekly, this is very bearish. This pattern alone itself is very bearish. It broke out a bull flag and gave up all the gains of the last 3 weeks. All right, so we likely see a lot of consolidation on Google above 2,600. So let's see. But for now, I would not buy Google to the upside. Unless we stay above 2,900 and then take out 3,000, then yes, I would play Google to the upside. So the best is to wait on Google. MSTR. This is a Bitcoin play. If Bitcoin is strong, Bitcoin goes, MSTR goes. So far, Bitcoin on the daily is trying to reverse. Can we get back above the 60K zone? If we do, 64K is my level that Bitcoin has to hold. If it holds, we likely see 70, 80, and 100K. But for now, Bitcoin just retesting its levels in here in this zone. But we do want Bitcoin above 60. So MSTR, right? We gave a play on MSTR some time back. We caught this entire move, right? We bought the MSTR position right here, I believe. We bought time on it. We bought the December position on MSTR. For some weeks, it was down, which is fine. That's the reason we got December. But then we had the nice little rip and nice profits on MSTR. All right, but right now it's just at the 200 DMA. It's simple. If Bitcoin is strong, Bitcoin goes up, this goes up. I mean, that's all I can say on this chart. Right, so if you believe Bitcoin goes up, it's going to be strong. MSTR is a support level. You can probably catch a 50, 70 point move to the upside. If Bitcoin is weak, then you can see 567, even 467. Anything is possible. This stock moves a lot. Understand these moves, okay? I mean, it went from 690 to almost 900 back to 663. It's more volatile than Bitcoin itself, right? TDOC, it was a great pattern which showed us that we can probably go long on this stock, right? But it completely failed to hold these levels. It completely failed, right? Here, it completely failed to hold onto the levels, but then we had a dip on earnings, then it ripped up, and then they sold it right. They trapped the buyers right here on this day on 3rd November, I believe. Yeah, 3rd November, and then ever since they just sold it off, right? And then we had a nice little rip on Friday based on the news that came out with the lockdowns and everything, that more people will now again need remote access to certain things. So TDOC, if the variant lockdown news are true, and if they keep locking things down, then these stocks can probably see a run. TDOC, Zoom, and few other names that we have. But this all, I think this name right now depends on COVID situations. If we get more lockdowns, more than technical, it will be news coming out of the market. I think that's what's going to make it move. But for technically, we need 116, 117 range hold. We need this range to hold. And if we hold this, then we have the 50 DMA first, and then the 200 DMA touch, which is 158. So big moves. Option pricing is expensive on this name because of IV, but I would probably do vertical spreads on this. So if I was to play TDOC, I would probably do vertical spreads, right? Why vertical spreads? One call I'll buy here at a strong support level, all right? And then one I will sell above right here. So as long as it holds above these levels then, and even if it goes up, you can exit your vertical call spreads for profits. And if it fails, and if it just holds these levels, you can at least break even and still have value left on your calls. Pfizer, one of my best plays this year, no doubt. We caught this. It was a 2-decade chart in play. All right. So here's another idea of levels being held, right? On Friday, we had this little copy candle, but again, I think if we keep getting the vaccine news, more development, more variant, whatever it may be, it just means more revenue for these companies, and they're just gonna rip. Moderna, BNTX, Novavax, AstraZeneca, all these companies, if vaccine news keep coming out and they give some positive results, even J&J, then these companies rip. But the most volatile ones will be Pfizer, Moderna, BNTX, and probably NVAX, I think. Right, but Pfizer is simple. Oh, right here, I've already, so as HARPS, as long as it holds 53, we see upside. And don't be afraid if Pfizer does come and retest 50.96. And if you're in Pfizer from any of the My Stock Life positions called, we are up huge. We're up 200% of the spreads, we're up 300% of the calls. Manage, roll out, buy more time. Expect this downside on Pfizer. Expect this downside and expect this downside all the way towards 44. It's possible, trust me. All right. But 53 is a very hard hold on Pfizer. As long as it holds above 53, we likely see 60 and 70 in the coming weeks. Okay. And on Pfizer, I think if you guys are in calls, what you could do is you can probably sell the $60 calls against your $50 calls that we have and make your position absolutely free, and then just convert it into a vertical spread. That's another 1,000%. If Pfizer continues going up, you make money on spreads no matter what. And if it comes down, at least you lock in your principal, some profits, and you just manage the spread then. Have a stop loss on it, that's it, and lock in all your profits. MDB, let's look at this. MDB, Mongo, let's see. So nice little uptrend on the daily, on long term. I haven't looked at this chart. I think the last time I looked at it was a while. On the daily, it's just trying to hold below the 50 DMA. I think for long term, this chart is good. It's actually just been going up. It's like a parabolic move. Okay, so here's the number on this is 515, 520 zone is a must hold. Underneath, I would be worried. Underneath, I would be worried because it can easily do a little downtrend, come to this level right here. Right, it can easily come here to this level right here, catch the 50 DMA, catch up to the 50 DMA, and then go back up maybe again. It's in a long-term uptrend. Options are very expensive on this name. Or this is a weekly chart I'm looking at, by the way. And but 515, 520 is a must-hold zone for this stock just by looking at the chart. If it fails to hold, we likely see 450 as a first stop, and then all the way towards 380. It is volatile. Options are expensive on this name, I know, and I don't think the spreads are also bad. And usually after a run, it touches the 50 DMA, it consolidates there, and then goes up. So MDB, guys, if you want to play, personally, I would probably wait for the 50 DMA, let it come here on the weekly. It will probably dance around it for 3-4 weeks, and as soon as you see a reversal, the front week takes the previous week's highs, you can probably play it to the upside. All right, but buy time. But here I would avoid because this is also some tough selling pressure right here. So MDB, to go long, I would personally just wait. I would completely avoid. UPST, great rip. A lot of FOMO people got caught here, and now it's at the 200 EMA. But technically, it's a great dip buy if you believe in the company, if you think it keeps going or doing what it's going to do, or long term, it can also do this. It can also do something like this. Companies that rip, right, and then they just consolidate, come down, or they just do something like this. So on UPST, technically, this is possible because the stock did go from 45 to 400 in 1 year, 1,000% increase in equity, right? So you ask yourself, has the company, I mean, have they gone up by 1,000% with whatever they're doing? And but here, technically, it is at a very strong support level, right? It is in a very strong support zone, just holding above it. And if it can continue holding this zone, I believe we can probably see a technical touch of right here. The first touch we probably see right here. We can probably see 235, and if it takes out 235, then we do have the top right here, right? We have here, sorry, my lines are not horizontal, I'll just choose this. And then we have a gap fill all the way towards here. But it's going to be a very, I think for UPST, it's going to be a very bumpy kind of stock for the next few weeks. So just choosing that right side on it can be tricky. So playing this, be very careful, have your stop losses, and technically here as a dip buy, I would probably buy calls 5 to 6 weeks out, right? And then just manage those and go in very small. BA, we have some great news on BA, right? With their 737 MAX from China, with all, they had great news, but then they just sold this off. And then obviously we had the lockdown news, right? And again, at a very strong support level, 190 was my actually key. Sahaj, if you're listening on BA, I did mention that 190 is possible, right? We mentioned it around these days right here. And well, it happened. This was a fake breakout. It broke out, but then boom, right? It's like as if these guys already knew that the news were coming. Like the markets, I mean, these guys probably already knew that, some news are going to come out with the lockdown. They already started selling it here, filled all the gaps. On Friday, we made a nice little reversal, but if more lockdown news come, then obviously this can see much lower, and then we see this zone of 155, 160, right? And if BA does ever come here near 150, I would probably pick up leaps on it in 2024 and then just ride them out. Here, very nice reversal candle, but I still wouldn't buy it. I just want to see if next week what news we get out of the market, right? And then we see. A tricky chart to play. I mean, you can play the support, but again, I'm just looking at it from fundamental point of views. Just wait for some news, I guess, and see if the vaccine news, there's some easy news for the vax, I think. And then we have Snapchat. Daily at a very strong support level. I actually do like Snapchat here, to be honest. I would probably go long here on Snapchat. I would probably go, why do I have this comment? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I would probably go long on Snapchat here. 2024 relief, that's what I would buy personally. And but for many weeks it can consolidate here. I mean, don't be surprised if Snapchat stays in this zone for like 2-3 months. That's the reason I would buy leaps. All right, because sometimes when stocks like this, they dip and they consolidate, it takes a long time for them to break out. And the same thing can happen here. This is a week daily chart, and I would probably buy time on Snapchat. I would not try to catch a day-to-day move. Maybe you might catch it, but I would probably buy 2023 or 2024 calls in case if it doesn't do anything. At least your call value, your position that you buy, the value stays, right? It's at a very critical support level. If it fails 48, we likely see all the way near 43. If it fails this, we do have a gap fill all the way towards 27, and anything is possible. But I do think Snapchat is a great long here. I would buy time. I would buy time, that's all I can say. Disney, again, completely broke down, and then did not even hold a gap here, broke down more. Let's see if it gets to this zone. I personally believe we get this zone just based on the technicals now, and if we can get this zone right here, 125, 130, if we do get this on Disney near 125, 130 in the coming days, and it bases here, I will probably play this back towards 150, right? I would look for a trade from 132 to 150-ish on Disney, right? Because even if I look at the long-term charts on the weekly, is volatile. Disney can make you or break you. I mean, like squeeze it, goes down, goes up fast, right? So, and plus weekly is approaching the 200 DM. It looks like we're gonna get the 130 area, guys, on Disney, right? Unless we close above 150 this week or 152, then we probably see a reversal. But for now, this chart I would not play. I would wait for a proper reversal, because if it goes against you, it's gonna go in a big move. Right? So avoid. I think there are better opportunities in the market than Disney. Uber, again, lockdown news, very choppy chart. Until 46, 47, I will not look at it. This is the weekly chart. Let's just go on the daily. On the weekly, completely failed to hold the levels. Let's look at the daily. I remember buying Uber when the news came out, but this zone, they were just unable to break out of this zone. We drew this around here, and then they just keep selling it above 46, 47. And Uber, I think, through 46 and a hold of 47 is what we need on Uber. And then let me see something else. Strong support level. Well, we can probably see, based on the current news that are coming out of the market, we can probably see 35, 32 on Uber. I think it's a possibility, right? Unless we hold this 37, 38 zone and we stay above 40, we get back up, we can go up, but we likely see this right here. I think this gap fill is going to come. Uber, I would avoid. I would not play right now. I would completely avoid for now. And let's see what else we have here. Bull call spread wrap, yes, it's a great strategy. Can I do TSM? Yes, TSM. We bought TSM. I was a little disappointed. It was one of our charts of the week. We caught this entire move. Our calls went. So I did skill some calls out. I'm still holding, right? But then they failed. You see how beautifully they failed this level. I mean, they took it up that day, right? As a day to manage. I did a skill some out. I'm still holding my TSM position for March, by the way. I do have some calls left. They gave this back, but for now I think they might just be retesting this level, and if the market is strong and we get a reversal, TSM, the number is 125 here, 125. If you want to play TSM, just put your alerts on 125. I mean, set your alert at 125. If the daily manages to close over 125, we likely see continuation towards 130, 140 and all-time highs on TSM, guys. Yep. But 125 is key. So just put your alerts at 125 and forget what happens here. Don't try to play this chop. It'll murder you. It'll chop you. It'll take your money away, right? I mean, in this chop, nobody wins. Trust me. It's very hard to predict the move. Nobody wins here usually, right? It's a war like you'll just fight the battle with yourself. So either wait for the support level 104, but 125 is a number. On very few selected stocks, I give you guys numbers, right? And they usually work. They usually hit. Yeah, so TSM 125 plus close, that's all I'm gonna say. And then we have now ServiceNow. A complete failure above 694. I have it by my heart, 694. Yep. Complete failure. Bucky, set your alerts at 694. If it takes through, so I'm gonna make a comment. If we take out 654, watch for 700 plus close, and I would play this to upside. All right, so that's a trade. That's one. Second is the 200 EMA, which is 571, so another 100 points or 80 points to go, which is possible. It can happen in a weak market. It won't take too long, 1-2 days. They'll drop the 70-80 points. It's very possible, right? But for me, if I want to play ServiceNow, I have my alert set at 694, not 654. 694. So 694, watch for the 700. As soon as it goes through 700 and holds, we likely see 750 and 800 on ServiceNow. But until then, avoid or just wait for a very nice support level. Playing it here, I mean, you have to be God in order to know what it's going to do. Unless you have some other information on it, that's a different story, right? But playing it here will be hard. Amazon Harman, of course. Amazon on a retest on from Friday, even though it was a short day, but there was a huge sell-off in the market. We all know this. It just needs to hold, or I mean, if you want to play Amazon, you're not in 3760. You set your alerts. 3765, you watch through 3775. Likely 3800 and 4000, and you can make all the money you want. So you have to have a lot of patience for this. This can take months. It can happen this month. It can happen next month. It can happen in Jan. Maybe it happens in 2024. I have no idea. But this is the numbers that you want to watch on Amazon. This right here. So just write these down. I think it'll help. Otherwise, we do have support at 50 and 200 DMA. We do have Cyber Monday tomorrow, and they'll likely buy tech tomorrow based on certain things from the research I've done. And maybe if we take the first target here short term, if you want to know, is I'll give you guys the numbers. I'll write it for you guys. 3620, and then we have 3680. Yep, 3620, 3680, and then obviously 3700 plus, and then 3725, and then back to our numbers, which is 3760, 3765, and 3775. All right, this right here. So write this on Amazon. Downside, clear 3400, 3300, 3200, anything is possible. Right, usually I play Amazon to the upside only, so I just wait. I'm very patient with it. And Amazon, if you want to play, you want to buy a position far, I would start with spreads. Why pay $70, $80 for a call? Or why buy 200 points out of the money call for 20, 30 bucks? It makes no sense. I mean, given this weakness, right? So what you want to do is buy in the money, just buy spreads on Amazon. That's what I would do. If you want to play Amazon, I would buy spreads, simple. And I hope you get paid on your puts, Bucky, and I hope people that are with me on the calls get paid in the calls, right? Yes, guys, so thank you so much. All I can say is just protect your gains, end the year strong. Not every day is a trading day. Some of you guys want to trade the market every day. Watch the market every day, see what's going on every day, but you don't have to trade every day or every week, right? Many of you guys, we tried telling you guys. Some of you guys have learned, some of you guys still don't listen. So the faster you learn, the better it is for you, right? Sometimes, I mean, you only learn by getting your own feet wet. You don't want to listen to nobody. So don't be stubborn, right? If someone has experience, they tell you something, one of the admins or mods or any good trader or anyone in the market that you may follow or watch, listen and try to apply it, right? And if you're unsure of a trade, just stay out. What's the rush, right? I mean, markets are not going nowhere. They will always be here. If you make the picky trades, if you make the right trades, you'll bank. It's simple. The market will treat you. They'll reward you, right? But patience is must. If you try trading every day and you think you're going to be right every day, then you should be a millionaire, billionaire by now, right? So patience, let the trades come to you, look for the right levels, look for the right numbers, find out what triggers the moves in the stocks. The day you find out what triggers the moves in the stock, you'll win the markets. God bless. See you guys back in the chat. Anything else, just comment in Discord or Premium, and we'll go on from there, guys. Have a